Hi, everyone, and welcome to 394 STEM Methods Week 3. Go ahead and start talking about what's going on during the week. Um, if you have viewed this and you don't have the week's assignments done yet, take a look at the video tutorial link on the second slide. This is just the table of contents of what we're going to be going over. And then here we have the weekly assignments. So for the Module 3 weekly assignments, you need to go ahead and read the assigned readings of cooperative, problem-based, and inquiry-based, and then do the assignment teacher-centered versus student-centered classroom, and the assignment for choosing the right strategy. And then this is what we're going to be discussing about is the floating magnets video and the BVU lesson plan template ready to use. So we're going to talk about the types of learning, and I wanted you to just take a look at this. This is background information on a Cookie Dilemma lesson plan resource, and this is the class sides here. This link will just take you to the resource itself, and then I'll go ahead and explain this to you. This is a science mystery from the NSTA, and I just developed the slides to go along with it because I have taught it before. The first slide is just introduction. The second slide is an actual video there of how cookies are made, and it kind of shows it. It's a YouTube video. It kind of shows how they rise and how they cook, and that's what I was using for this phenomenon for this lesson. And then at this point, I would go ahead and have the class sit in a circle, and we would read to them the cookie dilemma. And a synopsis of the story is the mom goes to bake some cookies or make the cookies, I should say. And what happens is she gets interrupted and she can't remember if she added the baking soda. So then she actually goes and tries to mix together the dry ingredients again, and she's interrupted, and then she goes back and then she can't remember which bowl is which, that type of thing. So then that's where we're experimenting, and we come in and we try to figure out what's in each one. So before we begin, we would go ahead and put on some goggles, and we discuss the science safety rules and procedures about how to wear the goggles, why we wear the goggles, and how we should act while we're wearing the goggles. So if I was writing a lesson plan, this is something I would put in for concern as proper use of goggles for safety issues. And of course, any testing materials to get in student size, that would be another thing I would put in for safety concerns. So the first slide or substances they'll be testing is sugar and salt. How do we know the difference? They're going to make a hypothesis and guess if it's cup E or cup F. And then, of course, when they couldn't eat it because we're in the science lab, and then we would talk about looking at the crystals and comparing them, that type of thing. And then what they're going to be doing is they're going to be looking at two different cups, test cup C and test cup D. One has baking powder and one has baking soda. And what they'd be testing with would be vinegar, and that's, of course, where we would discuss the importance of keeping our safety goggles on and not being rowdy with it or that any type of thing like that. And then after that, we would take and pretend like all the ingredients were mixed together, all the dry ingredients, and they would look at each one and make a hypothesis of what's in the test cup A and what's in test cup B. And the next sheet is where they would record their results, and we would discuss it, and then at the end they'd actually get to eat the chocolate chip cookies is what I bought for them. Sometimes I would bring Oreos, that type of thing. But that would be a problem-based lesson. So when we discuss this week the various types of lessons, go back, where it's cooperative, problem-based, and inquiry, the strong emphasis on this would be problem-based. So that's what I would put in my lesson. And then our in-class activities, if we were going to go ahead and be in class for this particular one, I would give you this lesson plan here, and you can go online and find it as well. It's with Science Buddies, and it's a third grade one, and again, it's addressing magnets and physical science. It has all these things like here's the standard, it has the SCPs and the DCIs, those types of things all listed for you, so you would just have to copy that. So if you go ahead and plan on doing the in-class work, what you're going to need to do is you'll look at the lesson plan tutorial, and I got that here. So it should go ahead and give you the information on what to do, how to put the information in. And we've talked about this one in class. And then if you need some explanation, there is this YouTube tutorial link. So what I'd like you to do is to complete stage 1, do that. And then in stage 2, list your phenomenon and how you would assess the students. So you'd use that BVU template, and what we would want you to put is, oops, I went down too far, is in stage 2, just list your phenomenon and how would you assess it. Would you be looking at a notice and wonder? What would you be having students write down? So we just need this pre-test per prior information portion filled out. And then in stage 3, this is where I want to see if you understand the difference between the learning. You want to list a research-based strategy for the lesson, and that would be, go back a few slides here, that would be one of these, the cooperative, problem-based, or inquiry learning. And don't worry about this number 4. You don't need to do that. So what you would need to do, like I said, to complete the in-class work and receive the 10 points is, of course, list 3rd grade here, the standard, the DCIs, take a look and add the essential topic, essential and topical question, and here put the SCPs. You can have 2 or 3 vocabulary words, then put the cross-cutting concepts there. And remember, for these 3, you just need to go ahead and copy and paste them. Think of what could happen in class with those types of things, or excuse me, this portion would be the misconceptions or why students would not understand why magnets repel. And then the safety considerations is what could you see happening with magnets in the classroom? So that stage 1 needs to be completed in full. Stage 2, you just need to list the phenomenon and what you're going to be doing. Stage 3 is where you would put what type of way you were going to teach it, whether it be inquiry, cooperative, or problem-based. And then right here, you just have to list your phenomenon once again and how you would complete it. And that's all you would have to do for this to receive the 10 points. And then for week 4, this is the video tutorial link. In week 4, we're going to be looking more at the lesson plan template itself, and you're going to be taking a look at that. We're going to be discussing differentiation in the science classroom. We're going to have you look at resources that differentiate for both above and below learners. Going to discuss heavily lesson plan 1. And then in week 5, you need to go ahead and please please have access to this Build a Watershed. And this is from PBS Kids, really good lessons there. And make sure you have this ready to go for week 5. So that is all that we have in class. Just thanks a lot, and thank you for your understanding, and I'll make sure everybody gets access to this video. Please let me know what questions you have. I won't be available much during the Easter weekend, but I will be available some on Friday and possibly some on Saturday. So let me know what questions you have. Look forward to seeing you during week 4.